Rumours swept the dusky halls of Windsor. A secret phone call dropped like a bombshell. Prince Harry and Princess Anne's whispered conversation had everyone guessing. But what did they discuss that plunged the palace into crisis mode? Was a clandestine plot uncovered, or did family secrets spill out in a way that threatened the monarchy's future? Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. Windsor Castle, with its ancient stone walls and grand corridors, hummed with an energy that hadn't been felt since the enigmatic days of past monarchs. Whispers woven into the fabric of its history now took on a life of their own, teasing the unseen drama at play. To the public, the royal family had always been an emblem of unity, a complex yet exquisite tapestry woven from duty, tradition, and blood. Yet beneath this gilded surface, questions swirled like a gathering storm. What truly lay behind the polished veneer of these iconic figures? The very suggestion of an unexpected alliance between the spirited Prince Harry and the resolute Princess Anne shook the very foundations of perceptions. He, the Prince of Disruption, known for challenging norms, and she, the stalwart royal, ever the embodiment of duty, but with a steely gaze that hinted at depths untapped by many. The thought of their union gave rise to a buzz of speculation, a murmur beneath the official silence. Could this mark the beginning of an improbable and unsuspected partnership? Grapevine chatter intensified with every passing day. Inside the palace walls, the staff scrambled like a scattered flock. The ripple effect of their secretive conversation was tangible on the ground, the tension pulsing through the corridors with each footstep of a scurrying aide. Rumours circulated, the endless, winding whisper games, hinting at everything from a royal rebellion to strategies more cunning and deliberate than any could have imagined. Ministers and courtiers stood with bated breath, caught amidst the delicate balance of allegiance and survival, tethered to both tradition and the whims of a modern age. Princess Anne, for all her stoic presence, carried an air of mystery, a complexity that left onlookers both awed and perplexed, her unwavering commitment often outshone by her candid nature, in stark contrast to Harry's unbridled spirit, whispered of an intellect as sharp as it was discreet. Yet here they were, two seemingly disparate souls meeting under the veil of confidentiality. Did their discussion harbour explosive implications for the monarchy, or was it a convergence fueled by a shared vision for the future? Anxiety and curiosity roiled through the crown's inner circles like an unchecked flame. Each exchanged glance and hushed conversation was weighed with anticipation, the urgency palpable as the royals prepared to confront whatever unknowns were set to unravel. Eyes darted towards Buckingham Palace, towards the very seat of monarchy, where only the bravest dared tread in pursuit of truth. Faint echoes of the private conversation left resonances that reached far beyond the immobile faces of history depicted in myriad portraits. What exactly Harry and Anne had discussed remained maddeningly elusive, yet the stakes it represented were evident and monumental. Just as night descended upon Windsor and the day folded itself into twilight, intrigue only deepened, laying a path toward revelations yet to come. As the sun sets over Windsor, eyes turn toward Buckingham Palace, where the true extent of this revelation will unfold in dramatic fashion. Who would have imagined that the ever-dutiful Princess Anne would confide in the rogue royal, Prince Harry? Their secretive conversation might signal an unexpected unity, one daring enough to challenge the status quo within the very heart of the monarchy. Is there more to this alliance than meets the eye? In the cloistered corridors of history's greatest monarchy, where whispered secrets often hold more power than proclamations shouted from gilded balconies, Anne stood as a bastion of tradition. Quietly assertive and ever composed, she was the steel behind the scenes, her presence akin to an unyielding tether to the monarchy's revered past. Her actions, deliberate and understated, masked a formidable resolve that underscored her role. Yet beneath her composed exterior simmered a discontent with the stasis that confined her and the family to prescribed paths of duty. Across the Atlantic, Harry had emerged as a symbol of transformation, his journey marked by rebellion and a quest for authenticity. His very essence seemed a rejection of the straitjacket of expectation, a royal renegade wrestling with the weight of his heritage. His departures had created tremors within the palace walls, his quest for a life beyond the royal bubble A narrative spun by the media with both admiration and scorn. Together, these polar opposites discovered shared grievances, their mutual understanding a seed slowly taking root in the shadow of the throne. Conversations, hushed and clandestine, revealed the parallels in their struggles, Anne's constant fight for relevance in an evolving world, and Harry's pursuit of a life purpose aligned, not just with duty, but with personal truth. Could it be that Anne saw in Harry the courage she had always wanted to wield, while he, in her, discerned the steadfastness that could fortify his own wavering resolve? Their unique bond was forged across years of overlooked interactions, flashes of knowing exchanges that had passed unnoticed, a touch of the hand during familial farewells, a quiet nod at ceremonial proceedings, and in stolen moments away from prying eyes. For every smile shared at public engagements, there was a deeper conversation brewing, one that spoke not only of familial ties, but of radical ideas and whispered challenges to convention. Such empathy rose from within these unassuming carriages of power, bringing to light their motivations, love for a family steeped in legacy, yet desire for its evolution. They each bore the brunt of unrelenting scrutiny, while nurturing a hope for change that remained unspoken. Together, they navigated the labyrinthine politics of their birthright, conscious of the fact that revealing their alliance could reshape the very contours of the monarchy. The potential implications of this quiet alliance stirred the winds within the institution. A fledgling bond with roots watered by years of shared experience held the promise of revolution, or at least an era of unprecedented dialogue within the royal walls. It was a partnership burgeoning with possibility, one that might bridge the chasm between steadfast tradition and the compelling allure of modernity. As the phone call's ripples extend beyond palace walls, an unlikely partnership begins to redefine the royal narrative. The palace stood like a sentinel against the night, a heavy shroud draping its ancient walls. Behind its fortified silence, rumors churned like restless seas. Whispered snippets of a phone call filtered through opulent hall, ways and gilded chambers, igniting the hushed frisson of gossip. Curiosity writhed and swelled. What truths could crackle through the untouchable sanctum of royalty? Between midnight secrets and dawning revelations, Harry and Anne's intrepid voices dared to traverse the invisible lines drawn by centuries of regal tradition. Shadows spoke of bravery and trepidation, mingling over the phone's electric hum. Among the cloistered spaces, the echoes of their intrepid revelations intertwined with history's weight, the audacity of their words punctuating the solemnity. Echoes of that clandestine call punctured the fabric of courtly propriety. Amid the dark tapestry of their family's past, cautious whispers carried Anne's contemplative thoughts on the antiquated bedrock of monarchy clashing with the relentless march of time. What once was hallowed ground now trembled beneath the onslaught of contemporary tides, and her voice quivered with a foresight both luminous and haunting. Couched within those guarded exchanges lay Harry's intrepid retelling of his trials, spread across foreign lands, where royal veneer was stripped bare, and the human heart wrestled with its own contradictions. Fragments of their grievances surfaced, little pieces of firelight offering fleeting comfort to courtiers and listeners yearning for clarity amid the draped obscurity of tradition. Hints of buried antipathies and familial fractures peppered their words, tantalizing like the salty taste of tears, reinforced by echoes of age-old resentments, unshackled just long enough to bear fragile truths to the torchlight. In tones both reverent and rebellious, Anne pondered the future that loomed ever closer, painted in the colours of change and defiance, while Harry gave voice to challenges met abroad, the seismic shifts, stoutly resisted by his lineage, pulsing with every revelation. Unguarded, these tales of purs, onal battles rebounded, bouncing off the stone coldness of ancestral claims, daring thunderous descent to rear its head where silence might once have been demanded. Their disclosures danced perilously with the air of treachery, braving the line that none dared to cross in silence, save the brave or the foolhardy. Behind every syllable lay an acknowledgement of the imbalance of power, an inference of consequences yet to unfold. Theirs were narratives rife with forbidden unveilings, their words tearing through the resplendent facade of royal expectations. Tension rippled and peaked, an unyielding spectre of ominous possibilities looming large where a precarious future threatened to weave their fate anew. Each chosen phrase, Each shared story left pinpricks of tension across the listener's skin. Hints of colder truths held aloft, waiting in eternal vigil for the right wind to rip them from their moorings and scatter them wide. These glimpses into their hearts defied all protocol. They flew in the face of the unbreakable monarchical mold. As one question unfolded into many, those living under the weight of these revelations knew well what every denied truth screamed. Behind the shroud of royal secrecy, deeper truths lay dormant, suppressed only until time demanded they be raised into the light. The gravity of Anne and Harry's disclosures was a call, stark and shivering, poised on a precipice demanding response. A royal reckoning loomed on the horizon, casting its shadow before it. With such sensitive information laid bare, the royal response is inevitable. Yet what form will it take? Charles' whispers of the call turn into a swirling storm. How will the monarchy itself respond? In the hallowed halls of Buckingham, shadows cast long and deep, a reflection of the mounting tension within. Queen Anne, her demeanour as unwavering as the portraits of her forebears lining the walls, and hides herself at a crossroads where history and destiny are but two sides of the same coin. The crisis, like an incongruous visitor, sits heavily on her shoulders. It threatens her realm, her lineage, and most intimately, her sense of duty. The weight of tradition looms large. A centuries-old throne demands constancy and reverence, but the world outside demands change. How does one maintain the grandeur of yesterday while embracing the promise of tomorrow? I think the inner chamber of the monarchy is a crucible of silent power plays and unspoken tensions. Not all share Anne's stoicism. Prince Harry, the spirited torchbearer of a newer vision, stands in defiant contrast, his eyes blazing with the convictions of youth and reform. He challenges that which has long been deemed untouchable, suggesting a new age that many fear, yet silently yearn for. Beside him stands the resolute Princess Anne, the very personification of dutiful lineage, her life testament to tradition's endurance. The palace corridors echo with their unspoken conflict, the air thick with the impending clash that is more seismic than any external threat could muster. And then there's the public. Oh, the ever-present, ever-watchful eyes of the subjects who, like an endless sea, sway with the tides. The monarchy stands before them, a bastion expected to weather storms. Scandal, whispers, predictions of anarchy teeming around them. The people's expectations are a double-edged sword. Their faith is wings, their skepticism a tethering weight. How will they react when the house they admire teeters on the brink of change, so profound it could redefine its very essence? In times of scandal, the collective gaze of the nation sharpens, and the throne, riskiest of all, stands naked before public opinion. Choices lay thick on the polished oak of the Queen's desk, ossified by the ponderous momentum of time. A decision looms, requiring courage both new and old. The royal family, dialogue rife with conflicting allegiances, waits breathless for the Queen's guidance. Each second stretches, wraps around hope and fear in equal measure. But dare she, dare they? The course must be set, and action must arise from the stolid breast of custom itself. As unseen undercurrents swirl beneath the palace's ancient stones, they beg one crucial question. What shall the monarch decree, while the walls of Buckingham tighten around the royals? A new chapter of this saga beckons, one that could reshape the monarchy forever. As news of their alliance leaks beyond the palace gates, the British public is thrust into turmoil. Whispers quickly turn to fervent debates in pubs and parlours across the nation. Team Harry versus Team Anne. Citizens now face a choice that cuts deeper than royal gossip, as it forces them to gaze squarely at the duality of tradition and modernity. In a kingdom where history hangs heavy as mist over its green hills, the revelations redefine what allegiance means to ingrained customs or the beckoning promises of change. A kingdom once galvanized by tales of valor and virtue now finds itself tangled in the threads of its own narrative, crafting a tapestry thick with tension and wonder. The reactions among the populace are immediate and visceral. For some, shock gives way to vehement support. For others, an unforgiving condemnation marks their view. The echoes of the kingdom divided reverberate from grand old estates down to the bustling streets where stories unravel at breakneck speeds. Complexity resides in the minds of the older generations, those who still hold dearly to memories of a resolute monarchy, one that stood as a bastion during the trials of war and peace. Tradition means loyalty, a steadfast belief in the unwavering institutions passed down like sacred heirlooms. Yet, for the young, souls, an allure lies in the disruption, a break from the shackles of old narratives, a hope for a new era where their voices matter, untethered by the past's constraints. Within this divided kingdom, personal tales reflect these broader strokes. Meet Eleanor, a stalwart royalist who recalls the coronation of a young queen, her eyes brimming with sentimental hope, a hope now tinged with disbelief. Then there's Lucas, a university student, his fervour unquelled by staid traditions, who sees in Harry's actions a pioneer spirit, a catalyst for reinvention rather than rebellion. As these personal narratives unfold, each is a microcosm of the nation's soul, a nation grappling with its identity at the crossroads of duty and destiny. Experts analysed the profound ramifications, predicting shifts that could redefine culture on a scale unseen since the empire's unravelling. Cultural historians speak of tectonic plates shifting beneath British society. The monarchy's once unbreachable walls appear porous against tidewaters of change. What does a crown signify in an age that prizes transparency? Is the sceptre still a symbol of unity, or an artifact of bygone power? Meanwhile, the loud, omnipresent roar of social media escalates the frenzy. In the digital agora, camaraderies form as swiftly as they disband, each tweet and post a battleground. Memes bearing allegiances surface, while digital divides mirror those of flesh and blood. The kingdom's future now dances on screens and within hashtags as much as it does in the parlours of Westminster. As these cultural fissures deepen, the monarchy finds itself confronting its most daunting challenge yet: how to navigate these divides with grace and renewed purpose. A balancing act ensues on a stage informed by tradition, yet craving an evolution that connects rather than separates. Buckingham Palace is buzzing with the undercurrent of whispers. The courtiers' low hums hint at further drama. A delicate chess game has commenced, set against a backdrop of family, duty, and destiny. But chess is not played in whispers alone. It demands decisive moves and unyielding patience. Amidst the public's clamour, the hidden corridors of Buckingham Palace are already set for the next battle in this unfolding saga. Behind the ornate doors of the palace, where gilded halls reverberate with whispers of yesteryears, tension simmers like an untamed force. It is here, amidst the splendour of regal opulence, that the loyalists make their move, quietly weaving a tapestry of intrigue to protect the crown at all costs. Within these storied walls, allegiances shift like shadows in the flicker of candlelight, casting doubt and uncertainty over those who dare navigate the treacherous waters of royal politics. The stage is set for a true test of loyalty, a drama where the stakes are high. Who among these venerable courtiers will rise as the staunch defender of the royal family, and who will stealthily betray the cause they swore to uphold? In the shrouded corners of the palace, key figures emerge, each manoeuvring with calculated grace to control the narrative that unfolds. Behind closed doors, clandestine discussions buzz with an electrifying secrecy among senior royals. Whispers of past betrayals linger in the air, a potent reminder of the pitfalls lying in wait for those who dare trust too freely. The air is thick with suspicion, for no one truly knows who is an ally and who masks their intentions beneath the guise of loyal admiration. Within this labyrinth of power and ambition, the dance of deceit becomes intricate, every step a potential misstep, every word a weapon that could turn the tide of perception. As the palace grapples with the looming shadow of Harry and Anne's rising influence, speculation about strategies breed like wildfire. Hidden behind smoke screens of civility, discussions are underway to counteract their influence, to reclaim the narrative and bolster the family's image. Among these noble factions, whispers of mounting leverage and covert alliances entwine with age-old grievances, each seeking a decisive path through the haze of uncertainty. With every secret meeting and unspoken pact, the notion of media favour becomes as crucial as the control of internal dissent, a precarious balancing act of perception and reality. A spectre of potential leaks and counter-leaks looms menacingly above the unfolding drama, threatening to ignite the conflict into an all-consuming blaze. As loyalists work to suppress dissent and keep prying eyes at bay, the tug-of-war for public perception intensifies. In this delicate game of chess, each piece moves with calculated intent, carefully positioning on the board, while avoiding the ever-watchful eyes of those who would exploit any hint of weakness. Beneath the veneer of unity is an undercurrent of trepidation, an unspoken acknowledgement that the palace, and what it represents, teeters on the brink of yet another public storm. The corridors hum with a tension that is palpable as each faction awaits the next revelation, the next twist that might unravel their carefully laid plans. Loyalty is tested in unyielding ways, and as the intrigue tightens its grip, one cannot help but question the forces at play behind the grand facade. Amidst tightening intrigues within the palace, one must ask, is there a power play looming beneath this surface of royal bonds? The answer, perhaps, lies not in the grandeur of their titles, but in the shrouded machinations of those determined to steer the monarchy's destiny. The tension within the royal walls was palpable. It was as if the very foundation of their lineage trembled, undercut by secrets and half-truths, youths spiraling into the open like a slow-motion avalanche. Harsh words and strange silences filled the halls, echoing down the corridors with the cold clarity of reality crashing down around them. As the delicate thread of family loyalty was frayed by revelation, the Windsor name teetered on the edge of an abyss. Was this a crisis too cataclysmic to mend? Within this maelstrom, each member of the royal family faced their own demons. The Queen, regal yet humanized by worry, struggled under the weight of this familial upheaval, her once certain gaze now veiled in shadows of doubt and sorrow. The relentless pressure of preserving a legacy clashed fiercely with a grandmother's instinct to protect. Elsewhere, Charles found himself torn between the crown he was destined for and the father's compassion he longed to offer. In such searing moments, the stark realities of duty and love collided, leaving Charles at once humbled and hardened by the choices before him. The castles, normally bastions of royal grandeur, housed whispers and arguments, as candid conversations tore through pretenses. In the confines of private rooms, tears fell freely in a family struggling to reconcile duty with the currents of personal betrayal thrust upon them. In one poignant reconciliation, a young royal knelt at the bed of an elder, the chasm of hurt slowly closing as apologies hung heavy in the air. Tender proclamations of familial love rose above the discord, offering fleeting glimpses of hope that they might yet rise from the ashes of discord. Caught between generations were the voices of the young royals, their candor often a catalyst for change. Their reflections became whispers of possibility, conversations laden with a tenacity that foreshadowed a new era altogether. The weight of royal responsibility sat like an iron yoke across their shoulders, yet their eyes shone with the potential to unite tradition with the uncharted landscapes of future duty. It was in these intimate exchanges that dreams of autonomy wrestled with the inheritance of duties long passed down, leaving the family pondering how they could forge a path anew without forsaking the old. Against the backdrop of these personal reckonings, the royals realized that their struggle was not just with each other, but with the public narrative weaving around them. The inhabitants of the palace grappled with their collective identity, standing on the precipice of history. Who were they, symbols of continuity or prisoners of their past? As tales of inner turmoil seeped into the world beyond the palace gates, the question remained, could they emerge, if not unscathed, at least together? This reckoning cut deep, leaving scars that would shape their legacy in indelible ways. Yet, within these wounds lay the potential for transformation, a reforging of bonds newly strengthened by adversity. As they stood at a crossroads, unlike any before, either they would evolve, meeting the modern world's demands, or dissolve under the weight of tradition's shadow. The Windsor family had weathered storms before, yet none so personal, so piercing. With the family straining against seismic shifts, the royal narrative takes an unexpected turn towards a new dawn, or an inevitable dusk. The path lay fractured before them, radiant with opportunity yet fraught with danger. What choice would they make? What shadows would they leave behind in the hearts of future generations? Only time and the courage to build anew would reveal what legacy bore their name. From the storm's chaos emerges a quiet but powerful resolve. For the monarchy to survive, it must transform. As old foundations crumble under the weight of change, a new chapter for the British Crown begins. Will this be the era that ushers the royals into the modern age, or one that signals their twilight tide shift? Against a backdrop of upheaval, the strategic shifts within the monarchy became imperative. Faced with both public and internal pressures, the royal family recognized the need to adapt swiftly to the demands of a world no longer enamored merely by tradition and ceremony. It was a delicate dance of honor and innovation, balancing respect for historical legacy with an undeniable necessity for progress. Paving this transformative path meant redefining what it meant to be royal. Rigorous examinations of outdated customs led to a careful pruning of the pageantry, no longer considered relevant, while preserving the values that impart dignity and grace. Emerging from this period of reflective trials was a vision of a renewed monarchical identity, more transparent, accessible, and attuned to the voice of its people. Reconciliation became the cornerstone of this evolving institution. Harry and Anne's clandestine phone call served as a reminder of familial bonds holding the potential for healing. Such revelations ushered in efforts to mend rifts, not just within the family, but also with the public, bridging the yawning gaps created by years of silence. The royals embraced dialogues hitherto unseen, where every word was a stitch in the fabric of togetherness, repairing their shared history. This new approach extended beyond domestic realms, questioning the monarchy's role within a rapidly changing global landscape. As climate change, social injustices, and economic disparities shaped this era's narrative, the royals sought relevance through advocacy and action. The young royals, armed with insights from personal tribulations, became champions of these critical causes, amplifying their moral authority and reminding the world that empathy and leadership are not mutually exclusive. Harry and Anne, through their brave revelation, left behind a legacy, a testament to the power of unity in diversity. Their courage to confront inner truths inspired not just their kin, but also a watching world to shape a monarchy that reflects the values of every generation it serves. At this crossroads, they crafted a message that the monarchy, while steeped in history, is not an immovable monolith, but an evolving symbol capable of change. As the sun sets on one of the monarchy's most challenging chapters, hope binds the royal tapestry anew, knitting past lessons with future promises. With scars still healing, the royals look towards a horizon, promising renewal and a deeper connection with those they symbolize. As the next act of this royal drama looms, waiting to unfold, the world watches with bated breath, aware that the Windsor story, like all tales, is nature's endless cycle of reign, decline, and rebirth. May they rise to write this narrative with the grace and wisdom such moments demand.